Hey folks, Quilly18 here, and welcome to episode 2 of our brand new Songs of Six playthrough, which I might be calling Hungry Elves? That's what I'm naming it internally for now. Haven't posted any of the videos at the time that I'm recording it yet. Still trying to decide. I was very surprised to find out that our Tilapi over here, apparently, don't actually care about open space. That's surprising. I think the humans did. And I didn't really give them necessarily that much space. They had some. It was not zero, but had some. The Tilapi actually like things fairly close together, which is surprising. Also, they don't care about light. They don't care about torches. They don't care about sculptures. Why am I getting the sense that Tilapi might be easier to play than the humans ever were? Especially since the jobs they like to work are like the good starting type of work over here, where the humans are like, I won't be happy until I've got a tenure at a university kind of thing. All right. That's very interesting. Of course, we're going to throw in a little bit of cannibalism. So that's interesting. Is that what we just build instead of a graveyard? I mean, we can still build it. Cannibals butcher corpses for meat and other resources. Having them can be severely detrimental to your reputation, but some species actually prefer humanoid meat. I mean, right? Okay, let's go and unpause anyway and get that going. So anyway, so that's going to affect some of the layout kind of stuff. I won't need quite as much space as I was planning. We're going to have to do a few tests, kind of sort of on the fly, about how the roundness works. I think I kind of like the little, just a little 4-block housing thing. I might tighten things up. I might not leave as much of a gap between the houses as I was doing. Just put a little alley between them. Alley and some trees if people want to cut through those areas. That seems kind of nice. I could go for some early nature over here. I mean, I think people are probably still coming into the city at this time. So I don't think I have to worry too much about boosting some of their extra interests at this time. We have a lot of potential employees. There's going to be a lot of things in the hunters. And I wonder about setting up an early little market, a little food stall, just off of this thing. I mean, again, I don't necessarily need more happiness, but it's not a bad idea. And then it's there. Oh, it's interesting that it's here. Why is that for house and it shows up? But still, with these stalls, I'm just going to go and drag out an area here. Now, it was advised that rather than doing a double, it might be better to go single. Ooh, hang on. Where do people work? Okay, it's on the flat area. If I did something like this, then like this, theoretically, it means people can go and grab things easier. And does it also mean... I'm so confused. Oh, right. You feel like you need to walk internally. If I do this and this, that's okay. You just don't recognize that this area is open otherwise. Do I want that to be there? Or do I want it on this side? Like a little gap of one. Because if I do this close to this market, it feels a little silly though. I wish I didn't need that. Anyway, the hope here is that people can just walk on the inside and then deliver things on both sides, maybe. So, employees. I mean, I think this is one of the dynamic ones, or at least I can leave it at a 1. This might be silly to set up early. But I bet you it will keep the immigration happening fast. Alright, let's do that. And I would love to say this is only temporary, but you know, what we always say, there's nothing more temporary, or nothing more permanent than a temporary solution. And then, I think I'm going to put my first set of houses just on the other side over here. The hunter, I don't actually know how loud the hunter is. If different industries have different values for that. I thought one of these buildings, does it sometimes say noise? Like if I take a look at woodcutter, well that's a bad example because it's not really let's say the carpenter emits noise, and the hunter does not say emits noise. I'm assuming the warehouse also doesn't. No. And I would sort of also expect the orchards not to. Doesn't say, so probably it doesn't. So this might be a nice quiet area. Now, there's going to be a big area over here, which apparently we don't really need the space for, but it'll give me so much room for decoration later, which apparently only needs to be trees, but that's going to be okay. Let's go for it. So, let's get a hoose. And we are on, this is set to wood. Yep, good. And then the longhouse, which is fine. And I have to leave a gap and leave a gap. Like so, like so, like so. Let me just pause for a second. I'm happy with this, right? Yes. And then doot, 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 doot. And I think there's going to be a lot of area copying on exactly this. So that'll be room for 40 people, which is more than we need right now, but we do continue to accept people. So I expect we'll need some more housing soon. And then, yeah, if I really wanted, like, some decor, right? Decoration, nature, I mean, flowers and trees. Maybe I'll plan to, like, put the flowers up in the corner, these boots. I think that's a nice little natural way to do this. And maybe I can do more, like, trees in the middle of these streets. I like that a lot. Do the same thing here. Doors there, right? I think so. There's no doors over here. There. It might be a little easier to place once the house is done. There we go. Okay. Look, we're making things pretty right away. Who am I, a kiss for luck? Oh, wow. Okay. Root orchard. One whole employee. Yeah, it'll take you a little while to get booted up. That's okay. Maybe I should have finished the hunters first. Well, we still have 7 months of food as is. And there's a fall harvest coming up. Oh, although, hold on. I have to do the activation trick. Okay, we're paused. I'm going to go in the corner here. Let me do the thing I was talking about, which is going to be activate job, because I think all of our little harvesting jobs are currently not activated. So, do that. And then come back and be like, listen, but we don't need these roads right away. Spend jobs. Yep. Yep, good. Okay. All the way to there. And, you know what? I'll just suspend this bit. You can do the other parts there. And then spend to there. And to here for now. I mean, if they end up accidentally building the roads, other than the fact that it's taking a little bit of time, it's not really the end of the world. Okay. Wood stored up. Oh, hold on. Forgot about that. Okay. I think otherwise I'm okay with it. And yeah, I bet you my originally stone clearing and stuff over here was all suspended, so that wasn't happening. We might need some more wood soon. Well, probably not right away. Oh shit, I forgot the hunter's place needs furniture. We're definitely gonna have to get furniture going. And I think the furniture is something that the Tilapi don't particularly care for. They don't hate it. It's just sort of mid. But I think we are gonna need the carpenter. Now, we could just import the furniture, but we are definitely going to be doing wood chopping, so I think the wood sort of vertical integration industry still makes a lot of sense. I guess one of the questions is, where am I going to chop trees? Of course, right in the middle of our city. Okay, maybe this time it's a little offset. We've got this bare area for this. I could just make a little wood chopping area down here. At the very least, we're going to do that now. That's actually not a huge investment in building those, I would suggest. 1, 2, 3. So if I go and do something like this, and yeah, just, I think there'll be a grow on this. 5 workers. Sure. And then, I don't need a god tier amount of storage in this one. Oh, it's already a 50. Oh. That. So efficiency is 100%. Moisture is not at 100, but that's, I think that's fine enough. 5 workers. Wait, what? The woodcutter itself needs furniture. Okay, right. I guess we don't actually build the woodcutter right away because we can just chop on the map. It's just when we kind of want a regular input and less micromanagement. Okay, but maybe I will build a carpenter here because there might be housing that continues down. Or I guess I was talking about maybe making this a bit of an urban area. I don't know where things will line up. And I don't think I'm going to want noise interfering over there. This is just temporary. This might be a place where we build a road later. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to assume a little bit of road there. I'll let that get built. That's going to be okay. There's going to be a bit of a gap. I could always put a silencing wall too. Carpenter emits noise. Yes. Okay. A little 7x7 guy to start off with. And when we do tourism, we might want this to be bigger. But this might be a fine start. How many employees do I get per workbench? Okay. I think we got that, but then we don't have any storage, which I don't like. So let me go and make this wider, and then plan proper workbench here. An overkill of internal storage? Sure. Why not? Then what I'll do is I'll do a pair like that. Then it won't let me put it down, which is a little annoying. Well, I hope I drew that right. Yes, that, because then it leaves me lots of room for the auxiliary station on a double up. There you go, 0.5. I think it could technically be a little smaller. We could do a 1x1 if that's allowed, but I think I'll do that. Okay, up to 22 employees. I don't think we'll have quite that many to start. But that'll work out. We're going to have lots of wood just lying around to start off with. And then the only thing is, almost certainly this is going to have to get moved whenever we figure out where we're going to do our wood cutting. Maybe this isn't a great area for that. If I am going to build the wood cutting there, maybe I should just build it here in the first place. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hit OK. Oh, you need stone, but we'll get some stone from the service. I'm going to hit OK. But I'm not going to build it here. What I am going to do, just because it'll make it a little easier for me to place, is I will go and put my little ticky-doos. That's going to be the official term for the roundness enhancing feature. Or can I, like, figure out, like, rounding enhancing feature would be an REF. I wonder if, like, there's some sort of, like, acronym we can use for this. I don't know. Or initialism, I should say. Or maybe we do come up with an acronym. They're slightly different. I mean, to the point of, like, if you're pointing it out, you're just being a pedantic butt face. But there is a difference between an acronym and an initialism. An acronym kind of makes a word, you can say. And initialism, so FBI, CIA, those are initialisms. They're not acronyms. But scuba and NASA, because you can sort of say it as a word, is apparently the difference. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay, so I'm going to go back with plan, put it over here. Even though there might be some housing over here, and that could be a thing, but we'll see. Ultimately, I'm going to have to be, and oh, I hate this idea, but I probably, yeah, trim that, should be more like willing to tear something down and then rebuild it in a different way. We'll see. Okay, we have a little bit of stone, because we know we're going to need 200 there. There might be more that we're just collecting. It's possible. I'm not going to go and put some more clear stone jobs yet. Not until, like, this actually gets confirmed as being blocked. 40 people. Got a little food stall over here. That's nice. They're going to collect some things. And yeah, I guess leaving everything on is fine. Because apparently stuff that's here may not rot. And so even if, like, we collect, let's say we end up with some fish here, which my Tilapi people don't go for. Tilapi don't like the tilapia. I think, well, they'd eat it if they were desperate, but I think otherwise it'll just sit maybe without rot in some sort of weird way. Feels a little cheesy, but we'll take it. And you know what? The fact that these guys are going to be sitting back to back, let's just give it a little different feel from the picnic table vibe I had before. That's not a terrible thing. And yeah, I think this gap is bigger than it needs to be. Well, that's all right. Working the fruit orchard, nice. It's going to take a while before that pays off. So I would like to get the big one up in the not too distant future, just because it does clearly take a long time for these things to register. that. Now, there's still going to be some advantage to having some extra width to the roads, just because I think people have to like kind of skirt around each other. We can minimize a little bit of bumping. But the little thin alleys between things are fine. A little different size here, which is maybe bothering me a little. But we'll all try to survive with that one. I might fill it with some different decoration. Okay, moving the wood, that's okay. Full of stone over here. We'll see what happens when we get around to this bit. And yeah, lots of trees are just being auto-chopped here. In fact, if I still had trees designated to be cut, and I guess I do, but I don't think we had huge amounts. I was just clearing the area around here. Hey! Okay, so we can set up our depots. And some trade. And I guess one of the questions might be, what kind of neighbors? We have a couple that we can talk to. We got some stinky humans. Some nice other elves. I mean, we might conquer them all. We will see. Oh, housing is going up. We will need some more soon. But I'm not sure that finishing the housing was the priority necessarily over some other things, but we got a lot of odd jobbers. Partially because they're spending. Oh, it's leisure time. Like, why is it taking you so long to build a dirt road? They're like near instant. But yeah, actually, some of these people are clearing the terrain, so we're getting some more trees from that, which is fine. A little path over there, which is fine. Clearing this terrain is going to take a little while to get that going, but it will give us all the wood that we need. Yeah, get the hunters for some meat. So other people want to come in, but we're not do that. The flowers look kind of bad at the zoom level, right? They're just a little too thin. This is nice. This is not nice. That then doesn't matter. This looks pretty bad. Maybe I'll try the different flowers, the more natural ones, and see and compare. Because if they feel better at a further zoom level, that's gonna be nice. I guess I should probably get some maintenance going on. Let's get our Janitorial ready to go. Maybe what I'll do is opposite. Oh, actually, I want to check. Do you emit noise? No. Maybe what I'll do is opposite this building is I will plan that. So again, gap that way. Leaving the little gaps around this is certainly going to be a challenge. I don't think this needs to be 7 by 7. I think this can actually be fairly small, especially to start off with, and maybe forever. Like, okay, this is interesting. The janitor station is actually 5 janitors that way. Right, hold on. If I go and do that, and then that, there you go. That's kind of a cute and cozy little janitor station. Put one door there. All right. And then we'll get you rounded off as well. With my rounding enhancing features. Okay. One thing this game can't do is just let you easily move something. Thanks for the gift. Wow! 32 plate armor? All right, Jared. Let's put a bin for plate armor so it doesn't sit on the ground somewhere. Huh. And the one thing with the dirt roads, I like that they like it a lot and it'll save us material, but I mean, from our aesthetic, doesn't look that nice. I think we'll definitely have to like line some things with trees or something. Make these feel better. So I don't want to build more homes right now because I really want them to focus on this bit. Yeah, you can't finish because you don't have furniture. And this also won't be able to finish. No, this right. This just needs stone, which in theory we will have. In theory we will have. Yeah, still manual tree chopping, but there's gonna be tons. That's gonna be okay. We're full on stored wood. I think that's okay. I mean, there's still room in here, but I'm not really feeling the need to add any more to that. Okay, so we've got some rations that people are still eating for now. It's the end of summer. Hopefully we'll get some harvest. I think late summer is when the harvests come up, so we might be going and gathering some of that. It's probably what we have. We had a little bit of a tick of something. I don't know if there's any wild cotton. There might be some wild fiber, actually. Should probably add it in there. I don't know if we're harvesting any. Let's go and give that one tick. Now, they don't like farms. They like orchards. They don't like farms. They like ranching. So I think it's going to be fruit orchards and ranches, and that'll be it. And then what do you like? You like the meat. You like the fruit. Thank you. Where? Oh, I guess maybe mostly from here. Yeah. Eggs. Eggy eggs. I think I'll probably just import eggs rather than try to get that set up. But I will go and do that. Set up some exports immediately. Well, I don't really have much to sell. I think we can live without it. But yeah, maybe I'll eschew a mining industry completely, including possibly clay. Like maybe we'll import everything that would be a mine or a pit. Hey, oh my God! I just remembered. I have the super screenshots from the last playthrough. Admittedly missing like the first couple of years or whatever it was. I still have to go and do an edit for that. Oh, okay. Exciting side project. I have to make a note to remind myself of that. Yeah, so we've got more tilapis willing to join in. We don't need it now. We don't need the workers right now, so I will wait. Although, you know, growing the population quickly to build more is going to be fine. I don't think we're going to have a collapse. Well, we might have a bit of food collapse. 5 months. I mean, we can get through this next winter. That's fine. And again, there's some fruit harvests that are going on. And at some point, we'll get some food from this. I could also... Oh, I should maybe set up a ranch soon. We've already lost 1 unit of livestock. Do I want to go straight to a meat producer? I think the answer is going to be yes, just because we don't need the other bits yet. Although we're going to get meat from the hunting. Mostly it's just I want to make sure to start using livestock. I mean, as long as we have some, we can use to seed something. We could also grab some from the field. Actually, I don't know. You can hunt these. I don't know if you can just tame them. That's an interesting question. Yeah, I don't know if you can do that, but... I wonder where the best place for them will be. It might be over here, because they want moisture. I don't know how much they care about the soil. And yeah, the open terrain over here, we're not really looking for regular farming. Not unless we end up with prisoners with jobs later. Okay, are we... I think... we're short 6 stone. Okay, clear rock. Okay, there we go. That'll do that. We'll finish this, which will get a furniture industry going on. And then what I might do is I might clear this. It's not really going to take... Well, it takes a lot of fruit to set up. I guess that's the thing I got to remember. We don't have any fruit right now. We did use some for setting up over here, but that's right. We need to seed this with that. Okay. I think we definitely need to get meat ranching up in the not too distant future. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to assume we're going to wrap this like this. And a 45 by 45 internal area sounds pretty good. I'm going to stretch this out to here. Oh, they still like to bathe. Okay. So I might want to leave this foresty area for either foresters or orchards, right? So let's say, I gotta remember that planning mode is on. Now, this full area is not actually ideal for it, right? If I go and drag out a 45 by 45 area, the soil's far from ideal. If I go and trim this back by 20, that's 99%. That's not so bad. So this is only 25 wide. So I've got another... Oh yeah, you have to put down the trees and things. I just want you as a placeholder. I gotta remember not to build this thing. I don't know. Let's go through the trouble of putting down a storage. You know what I could do? It's currently 25 wide. But that's not a multiple of 4. Therefore, this. So what I'm going to do is trim this. So this is 23 wide. No, I messed up the map, didn't I? 24 wide. So I must have been 26 before. Okay. 24 wide. And then we still have actually a little bit of wasted space vertically. Eh? Hang on a second. Oh, that's weird. Individually placed trees. They can't overlap their one little thing here. You have to do this and get a double gap. But if you're making a line, it's like this. And the storage is the same sort of thing where it sort of breaks the pattern. That's ever so slightly annoying. It's not like unreasonable. Like, I kind of get what's going on with the way it's programmed a little, but I guess I kind of want to do this then. Keep all the trees aligned. It's not like I would add another tree. If I go out and put it in there, there's not actually enough room. Well, that's not true, because vertically, hold on. Because vertically, they actually only take 3 plus 1. I can cram an extra tree if I do it this way. And you end up with a double gap over there, which is a little bit odd, but unavoidable. Okay. Farmers, it's near enough a whole number that I'm gonna say it doesn't matter. So I'm gonna hit construct on this. Okay, good. I had planning mode on. Okay. And that was 24 tiles wide. Right? If I go, what's an easy way to do it? If I say, okay, dirt road. Yeah, 24. I guess what I could do is I could do this and say 45. That's maybe the internal block size that I'm using for these bits. Whether or not I don't think my housing will follow the same thing. Do this, give us some room. We could just put a big row of trees in between, and that would be okay. So I'm going to make a giant pasture over here, which means the ones that are naturally growing here. Oh, I don't need you to replenish or anything like that. That's fine. What we need is meat. And we will need some housing over here as well. In fact, I might do a little housing block in here, and then we could have some resource. I don't know what. We'll see. But yeah, hunt those. And then just some entelodonts just for food. Or maybe we can get a clothing industry relatively soon. In which case, maybe I just go straight into ounces for the fiber. Because we know we're not going to want to do the cotton farms. So if I drag this out to 45 by 45. Moisture only 90%. Really? Is this salt water or something weird like that? Looks like really moist soil. Over here. 92. That's low moisture there. Seriously? That's, Someone less than great. I suppose we might still plan an aqueduct or canal or whatever that goes in here for like the pond. In which case, there'll be a little bit of moisture boost that happens. I'm just going to go for it. I'm just going to make the 45 by 45 area and sit here and be annoyed in the 90% moisture. All right, put the gate in that corner. Hut. And hut, 100%. 22.7 workers is fine, and these will be dynamic, so that's going to be okay. It needs a lot of wood. I'm going to go ahead and let this be constructed. I think I'm going to activate this one. Turn off the planning mode. Activate this job. Yep. It's not going to employ that many workers, because we'll leave it on automatic, because we don't have enough livestock to fill it up anyway. So they'll scale up over time, and I think that's going to be very good. And we're going to start to accrue some fiber, so I'm going to make sure... Oh, right, I already assigned one, because, right, we got some natural stuff. I'm going to put a second crate for the fiber in there. And what might happen is we might just start selling the fiber immediately, because I'm not going to have the setup to convert the fiber into anything. So we could set up a little export for that. And I am wondering about a big import-export area. It'd be easier to organize, and I like it thematically, but I guess it kind of makes sense to import and export things in an area where they happen. What I could do is I could put an exporter here for the fiber with, like, priority and everything. So they would go and grab it just from the field. I could put a secondary grab from here, but mostly it's going to be about grabbing it from the field as quickly as possible. I think I like that. Set up an export depot. And yeah, as small as can be, maybe right across here. For whatever reason, I want it this way. I don't know why, but I do. Now, with my neighbors here. Okay, it's not bad. And I have some money. You don't have a lot of population, which is why it's going to be cheaper. Yep, we're going to go and set up that immediately. And then trade, barter. That's fine. Oh, it's still not enough value. Wait, do you not want money? Interesting. Okay, we can also manually work that, but for now this is okay. Get a slightly better deal on our selling of fibers. Lovely. This game is so good. Like, I'm just sitting here, just so happy to be playing again. And like trying to balance out like the pre-planning versus, you know, kind of just being kind of on the fly and organic. Because obviously you could lay out a whole grid ahead of time. We know from playing City Skylines that a full grid can be boring. We don't really have functional diagonals here. Well, that's not true. I've seen some people put cities all the time that are built on diagonals with cool circle areas, and like you zoom out and it's freaking art on the map. I think that will be beyond me, but you know, other than that, it's pretty good. There's a good chance, like, I don't know how much fruit we're gonna need. This probably won't be enough for anything. I kind of envision we might end up with like 4x4 block over here, like, or 2x2, I should say. This one's gonna be maybe a little split, so not full, but we might have another giant 45x45 fruit orchard here and here. And you know, that's gonna be a lot of food for a long time. Still don't need to pull in more people yet, although, you know what? No, hold on. How many people are waiting here? 18? That's actually fine. Good number. We'll do that. Get some extra odd jobbers to build these things up. And yeah, we need a lot of construction over here. That needs more wood, but I mean, we've got 400 units of wood as is. And we're almost certainly, there's tons of wood just lying around as well from our incidental stuff. So I think we're probably going to have enough to get this set up. That's okay. There we go. Another one of our livestock expired here. And yeah, right now, I'm not too stressed about making people happy 200%. I mean, their expectations are so low. Like, I'm not worried about setting some more housing for the people yet. It's everything else that's going to go. And I am happy I set this up, because these guys here yoinked some fruit early on, which is going to be maybe important for a continuous trickle that we can then feed into the others. And yeah, short term, I think we'll rely on meat from the hunter, probably. In fact, maybe I could turn off the apple consumption completely. Well, not yet, because I'm not setting up the next farm, but it is an interesting idea. All right, consuming some wood, generating some furniture. We just need enough to basically support our extra construction at this point. I could scale back on the number of workers, but I think it's fine. 22 people employed right now. I mean, we don't have the production efficiency, but that's okay. And stockpile a little bit of furniture for our next round of construction. Don't think that's a bad thing. I think we'll be happy to have it. We weren't planning road for some of these roads, which seems fine. Yeah, because we don't really need people to walk through here yet. I wonder if I go... Oh yeah, this is really weird, right? Like if I went to... There's not a nature mode. Unless I go... decoration nature. It was so weird to me that the nature doesn't actually count actual nature. It's bonkers to me. But, you know, sure, whatever. It's not... They don't want natural nature. They want artificial nature. Got a little bit of grain. We could put an export on that, or in practice, what might need to happen is the grain over here. I'm going to tell you, don't bother harvesting that going forward. There's still a bunch there. Because we're not going to grow it. We're not going to booze from it either. We could just end up exporting this stuff because we don't care. In fact, what I might end up doing is just dropping it from my warehouse and let it decay. Might have been a mistake to pick that up in the first place. Same thing potentially with the mushrooms, because my people don't particularly care for mushrooms. So we'll do that. We're going to start picking up the opium. That's going to be fine. The fruit, certainly. The herbs, I don't know, but I bet you we can use it for something. Maybe there's an alternate liquor recipe that uses herbs. We can start to make some gin or some jenever. I don't think I pronounced that correctly, but the sort of like OG gin from the Netherlands. cleared. Oh, it's probably some rock mostly, because I'm like, there's not... Well, there's some shrubs and things. Okay. That'll give you some local wood area, which is fine. The export over here... Right. It's going to be an export of fiber. Fiber. And yes, you can yoink from the close one. And... Whoops, that's not the button I want to click. And you can pull everything. We're not having to keep any of it. That's going to be okay. And over here is that fetch from warehouse when at least 100% of warehouse crates are filled. Right, that's from warehouses. Now, you will be grabbing this. So you will not be grabbing from any random warehouse. Except you will be grabbing this. But I'll leave that as a 0, and that's going to be okay. And then, yes, you can fetch from the area with priority. If there's any cotton right now or fiber right now, we're just going to sell it immediately. And we got a little bit from just the map. And we'll get some over here. So, yeah, we'll sell the fiber for some cash. We'll keep the meat for meat. Although we might end up selling a little bit of excess as well, because now we've got the hunters going on. So we've got the meat over there, which is good, especially since we don't have much else. Oh, exposure. Right. Okay. I forgot about winter coming. Even though, you know, there's been entire shows based on this. What I am wondering about is it might be really nice. This little thin hearth fits really nicely in the middle of our boulevard. I know I was talking about like a service area over here. We might bulldoze this later and plant trees in this area, for example. But a little hearth, and we may as well get a well at the same time. With a little gap, I can put a tree in the middle. There we go. And then maybe a lavatory as well. Now that will mean an actual building. So what I'll do is I will build that one on the other side. So the idea will be 3 and then 1 extra because we might do some little ticks here. I'm going to grow this too big for the moment. But I think I might go again. If I do latrines that way. And then a pair of basins. I do... Hang on. I did... No, that's not quite right. Oh! I get rid of the ones on the other side. It's definitely letting me putting them down. There we go, 100%. Ooh, okay. Door. And I can even have one over here. Makes me think maybe I would rotate it differently. If we end up blocking this door off later, that's not the end of the world. But, okay. Done. And some REFs. Boom. And I'm good with that. Okay. Ooh, I didn't check if there's like an employee number that would have been better to hit. And I don't know that we need the triple wide roads over here. Here I think this will be a single one. We'll end up crunching another house in there. But get this up first. Actually, the hearth is potentially the most important. It's already got the material, that's good. Yeah, I don't want people like dying from cold. I mean, we've got plenty of replacements. It'll hardly be a problem. But we don't have a cannibal up yet, so no, there's our first death. Okay. Looks like meat's back on the menu. Oh, do you emit noise? No, you don't. Okay. We have a whole little food area there. What? Okay, here's what I want to do. I want to say a market. Now, I might not build it immediately, but can we do the same sort of design here? Oh, yeah, that's actually really lovely. Now, I'm betting it's going to be the same thing where I have to leave a little bit over there. So, we'll do that. You'll need stone furniture. Okay, that's fine. And then what I'll do is I'll do this, because it'll look like a 3-tile wide dirt road. And that, we can put some little trees in the middle. And then I do maybe 7x7. Oh, there's no support buildings. Oh, although weirdly, your size is a little odd. Okay. I mean, that's the biggest, admittedly. But then there's a... Huh. Interesting size jump. 1 butcher, 2 butchers. Huh. Okay. I do want to extend it out. I can certainly make the building shorter at no real loss. Okay, trim it this way. Extend it. That's actually too big. And it caused me issues. So I'll do that, and then we can still have one in the middle here. Okay. And then I'll put a little door there. Okay. Oh, I didn't leave room for my REFs. Construct. Copy. Do that. Take this. Cancel. Come back over here. Copy. A little silly, but there we go. Cancel you. And you. And REFs. Boom, 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 boom. And good. What does that button do? Oh, right. Okay. There we go. So hopefully that handles dead bodies. Being a little short on housing probably isn't helping with the exposure either. So we're gonna get this planned, which as usual, I'm queuing up too many jobs at once. That's how you know it's one of my videos. And not, I haven't been taken over by AI yet. So anyway, let's delve further into this. And really, I think the food situation here is the real load-bearing part. And you're right for pointing that out. And other AI-isms. Really do need the hearth, though. Alright, you know what? Just pull in a bunch more people. Hey, new level. Oh, we get some free innovation. Which... What are we going to drop that into immediately? Could be the hunter. It's really efficient early on for us. You know what? I mean, we need to feed our people. Now, this does go up. The cost goes up with every tick on this one. I'm going to do 2, because then it starts to go up, and maybe it's less impressive. The fruit orchard is not really justified currently. That's the fruit farm. This is the fruit orchard. Wow, I'm going to have to make sure not to screw that up too often. And we'll want the woodcutter. Furniture efficiency, I mean, probably at some point. Okay, but we'll start with that. We have our Janitorial over here, currently with 2 employees. That's a-okay. You know what I'm going to do is increase my herb storage. Well, everything... Well, maybe not the fiber, because we're going to sell that, is the hope. Right? Sure. But, the herb and the grain, you know what? We might... I think I'm going to turn that off. Because I'm not collecting anymore. We're just going to let that rot somewhere. I mean, I don't want the wood to rot either, but... I guess I can go in... Oh, we're full in crates. Okay, there. That's fine for now. That's going to be okay. Alleviated the pressure on everything currently. Except the fiber, but again, we're hoping that the fiber just gets sold. We got a worker, oops, over there. And you have to go maybe a little far to do it, but that's going to be okay. But yeah, we have no need to keep any of the fiber around, so just keep selling that. There we go. The hearth is finally up. And yeah, you know what? Like, I don't know how much... Like, they're mostly fine as is. There's a little gap in nature coverage there. Mostly, this is so bland and boring to me. Like, me, personally. So what we're going to do is we're going to go and put some trees down. I'm going to do this. There. And I think that's going to look a little bit lovelier. Maybe I should go natural to not have little stone. We're going to have to come up with like a bit of a standard of things. And actually, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to cancel... this row of flowers, and I'm going to put in a row of natural flowers there and see if I like that better for the housing. We're going to see what happens when that shakes up. But we'll put the cut in here. Oh, this is lovely. Oh, God, I'm so happy to be back in here. This is still coming along, which is fine. We got the workers. Again, very typical of me to overqueue some things. But a bit of housing, we'll get that cannibalism, we'll get the laboratory, and then yeah, we'll get this farm up before we run out of intelligence or a livestock completely. Hopefully. Maybe I should have built a little baby one to get started faster. I don't know. What I should probably do is stop queuing up some construction, but this did seem pretty important. I don't want the bodies to rot. We still have some people with exposure. They're probably behind on the hearths. But maybe what I'll do is I'll go and build another one. Yay, more queuing of stuff. If I do this, I can have another structure. That might be worthwhile. It also might be housing related with the exposure, but we'll get a second hearth. I suspect one of these will go away later on, although right now that'll look kind of nice, and we can put in some extra trees to maintain the symmetry. The spacing's okay, right? Yep, good. Okay, folks, thanks a lot for watching. Remember, hey, liking, commenting, subscribing, all those things help the channel out a lot. And of course, you don't want to miss a video, and subscribing isn't enough because YouTube has decided that everything runs by an algorithm. So if you want to make sure your videos, the videos you want to see hit your, your front page, you got to also drop those likes and comments because that makes a big difference. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.